The moment my mother stepped into my room with that overly sweet to careful voice, I knew something was off. It was the tone she used when she was about to deliver bad news and hoped I'd smile through it. I was sitting on my bed scrolling through Pinterest for birthday dinner outfit ideas. I had made a reservation at my favorite Italian place 3 weeks in advance. Just the 4 of us, me, my parents, and my younger brother Josh. Nothing extravagant, just pasta, laughter, maybe a little cake afterward. After all, turning 21 felt like a milestone worth marking. Even if my family rarely made a fuss about me the way they did about Josh. "Sweetheart," my mother began, folding her hands like she was about to give a sermon, "about your birthday dinner tonight." Something came up. I looked up slowly. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Josh's friends planned this huge surprise party for him. She continued, smiling now, as though this news would somehow delight me. He turns 18 this weekend, and they wanted to throw it a few days early so more people could come. We didn't want to say no. They're even doing it at that lakeside hall we went to for Uncle Gary's anniversary. My stomach dropped. "But that's tonight." She nodded, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. I know. But your birthday happens every year, and this is Josh's big 18. His friends put in so much effort. And I didn't? I asked, my voice low. I made the reservation. I planned the whole night. I even ordered a cake. My dad appeared behind her in the hallway and offered me a sheepish shrug. "Can we rain check it, kiddo? Maybe next week." I didn't answer, not because I didn't have words, but because I had too many. They swirled in my head, biting and bitter, tangled with all the other times they had done this to me. This wasn't new. It was just sharper now, louder. I swallowed hard and said nothing. My mother, mistaking silence for understanding, kissed my head. "You're such a good girl. We'll do something next weekend, just us. I promise." Then she was gone. My father gave me a pat on the back like I was a puppy who had learned to sit. Josh didn't even knock. He just burst in and grabbed a pair of shoes he'd left by my desk. "You're cool with this, right?" he asked, not waiting for an answer. "Oh, and if you're not going to wear that lavender dress, can Mia borrow it? She wants something flowy." I stared at him, stunned. "You want me to lend my birthday outfit to your girlfriend?" He smirked. "Well, you're not going anywhere fancy tonight, are you?" By the time they all left, the house was dead silent. I sat in my dress anyway, the one I had planned for weeks. My phone pinged with a reminder. Birthday dinner at 7 p.m. Trattoria Milano. I stared at it until the screen faded to black. Then I stood up. I looked at myself in the mirror. There was something there I hadn't seen before. Resolve. I grabbed my phone and called the restaurant. I told them the reservation was still on. But for one, the hostess sounded surprised but polite. "We'll still hold your table, ma'am," she said. "And happy birthday." I went. I sat at that table under soft lights and ordered my favorite meal. I toasted to myself with a single glass of sparkling apple cider. I posted a photo of the empty table with my meal and wrote, "Happy birthday to me." The post exploded. Comments poured in from classmates, co-workers, even distant cousins. It was like a floodgate opened, but I didn't respond right away. Instead, I started planning. The next morning, I woke up to the thick, suffocating silence that hangs in the air when something is broken. No balloons, no apology, just a sink full of dishes and a loud reminder. You were never the priority. The Instagram post had gone viral. People were angry on my behalf. At noon, my mom called. I didn't answer. At 1:30 p.m., she texted, "People are posting horrible things about us." I left her on red. By evening, I had made a decision, not out of spite, but self-respect. I realized I had spent most of my life waiting for them to see me. So I packed a bag, quietly, methodically. I took my essentials, my laptop, my savings. I booked a room at a cozy little guest house downtown. I didn't need their permission to leave anymore. Later that night, I wrote a follow-up post. I treated myself. I remembered my own worth. And Ivy decided to take a break from a place that constantly makes me feel small. Within hours, someone sent me a screenshot. Josh had turned his comments off. My mom deactivated her Facebook account. My dad sent me a long email about how disappointed he was in my public airing of family matters. But not once did anyone say, "I'm sorry." 2 days later, a woman named Claire, who worked for an online magazine, messaged me. She wanted to interview me to talk about the overlooked siblings. I agreed. The article went live a week later. It was titled "The Birthday She Spent Alone and Why She'd Do It Again." It resonated deeply. Readers apologized to their own siblings. Others cried, seeing themselves in my words. Meanwhile, my parents tried to call. My mom even drove to the guest house once. She left a gift bag with a card that said, "We were wrong. Please come home." But something inside me had shifted. I sent her a message. "I'm not ready to come back yet. I need space. I need healing. And I need to know that if I ever do return, I won't be expected to shrink just to make someone else shine." Weeks turned into months. I found a small studio apartment and moved in. I started freelancing for that same magazine. My story opened doors not just in writing, but in confidence. I wasn't just the forgotten daughter anymore. I was a woman with a voice, a story, and a spine. Josh sent me a message eventually. "I didn't realize how much you were hurting. I'm sorry." I didn't hate him. He was just used to the spotlight. He never realized how cold it could be in the shadows. As for my parents, they're still learning, or trying to. I realized healing came from choosing myself, from walking away. A birthday isn't about who shows up at a dinner table, but who shows up for you every day. The surprise I gave them wasn't the viral post or the silence. It was becoming someone who no longer begged for their attention. Now, every year on my birthday, I go back to Trattoria Milano. I book that same table, and I toast to the girl who stopped waiting, because that was the night I truly began to live.